During the season finale of the WEC, Toyota Gazoo Racing pulled off an unexpected result, beating Porsche, who seemed to be unbeatable, to claim their 6th consecutive manufacturer's title in the series. So in this video, I'll break down Toyota's phenomenal result, and how they achieved it during the 2024 Bapco Energy's 8 Hours of Bahrain. Heading into the finale, Toyota Gazoo Racing was in contention for both the drivers' and manufacturers' titles of the hypercar class. They sat just 10 points behind Porsche in the manufacturers' fight, with 151 points, and a further 37 points with the number 7 car behind the leading number 6 Porsche in the Drivers' Championship. In the race before Bahrain, the Japanese marque had a difficult home event at the Fuji Speedway, where the championship contending number 7 car was forced to retire after a collision with the number 5 Porsche, and the sister number 8 car finished down in 10th after a late race drive-through penalty that dropped the car off the podium. For this Bahrain event though, Toyota proved to have stronger pace, as the team's 2 GR010s locked out the front row, as they did last year, with Brendan Hartley qualifying on pole position in the number 8 car, with a lap time of a 1 minute 46.714. The start of the race would see Toyota keep the lead from the remaining entries in the hypercar class, with Sebastian Buemi at the front in the number 8 car. However, the number 7 entry with Mike Conway behind the wheel did drop to 3rd behind the number 51 Ferrari, and by the end of the lap, Julian Andlauer got ahead in the number 99 Proton Porsche, moving the Toyota down to 4th. But at the front, Buemi comfortably led in the number 8 car, and started to extend the lead as he did just 1 year ago in 2023. Although, to the disappointment of Toyota fans, just 20 minutes in, the Swiss racer's car was spun at turn 1 by Hiroshi Koizumi's TF Sport Corvette, which dropped the number 8 Toyota to 6th place overall, and gave the lead to Antonio Giovinazzi and the number 51 Ferrari. For the next section of the race, Toyota Gazoo Racing continued to show strong pace with the GR010s, but were not yet able to reclaim the lead, with both the number 51 Ferrari AF Corsa and the number 12 Hertz Team Jota Porsche both taking turns at the front. At this stage in the race, Toyota's number 7 car had the best chance of reclaiming the lead for the Japanese marque, with all 3 racers putting in impressive stints, and during the halfway mark of this race, and with cars racing under the night sky now, the number 7 Toyota with team boss Kamui Kobayashi behind the wheel closed the gap to just over 1 second to the number 51 Ferrari of James Collado. And by the time the pit stops came around, because of a slower release and a rear left tire taking longer than expected to be put on the number 51 Ferrari, the Toyota crew were able to get the number 7 Toyota with Nick de Vries now behind the wheel ahead of the number 51 Ferrari and into the race lead. Also, keep in mind that if the number 7 Toyota stayed in first, it likely would have won the Drivers' Championship, because the number 50 Ferrari was placed behind, and the number 6 Porsche would need to finish outside of the points, and it did by the end of this race. However, as I'll explain in a moment, that is not where the number 7 car would finish in this race. Elsewhere, the number 8 Toyota was also running a strong race, despite that early spin at the beginning. Like the number 7 crew, the drivers of the sister car were putting in strong stints, and were keeping the number 8 car in the hunt for a strong points finish, or even a podium or a win later on. However, drama soon followed for the Toyota squad. Despite the number 7 car performing strong and leading the race at one stage, the crew were managing a fuel pump issue, and it had become more apparent when the number 7 Toyota slowed immensely and soon dropped towards the back of the field. Nick de Vries had no choice but to bring the car back to the pits, and the team were forced to retire the entry, which was of course absolutely heartbreaking, not just for the championship's sake, but also because this car had the performance to win the race in Bahrain. With one car down, Toyota Gazoo Racing's hopes for the championship and the race win now solely rested in the number 8 car, which was also facing its own problems. Once the safety car went away after being called out because of the fire for the number 88 Proton Ford, the number 8 Toyota with Ryo Hirakawa behind the wheel was clearly struggling with the hard tires and therefore was vulnerable to be overtaken with a lack of grip. This grip loss pushed the number 8 Toyota down to 7th, but Hirakawa was able to pit the GR010 and hand things over to Seb Buemi for the remainder of this race. The next safety car for the race-ending stoppage of the number 94 Peugeot resulted in helping out the Toyota Gazoo Racing team, as Buemi put those brand new tires to good use and charged his way through the field in the final hour and a half of the season. And the Swiss driver was definitely determined to finish this race with the championship clinched. Buemi moved his number 8 Toyota all the way up into 2nd and closed the gap to Matt Campbell in the race-leading number 5 Porsche Penske entry. Now, because this was one of the factory Porsche 963s, the battle for first was not only the battle for the win, but it was also for the manufacturer's title. Because if Buemi could get past, Toyota would win, otherwise Porsche would. In other words, whichever manufacturer finished ahead would clinch the title. And keep in mind that this was all happening in the final hour of this race. Talk about an intense end to this extraordinary season. With 40 minutes to go after pressurizing the number 5 Porsche, Buemi finally made his move, but contact was made, forcing Campbell off the track, and the stewards ruled that the number 8 Toyota should give the place back. Despite that setback, Buemi's pace advantage allowed him to re-overtake the number 5 Porsche and take back the lead of this race, and that's where he would stay until the end. As once the checkered flag fell, it would be the number 8 Toyota crossing the line in first to win the 8 Hours of Bahrain in 2024. And this result would indeed allow Toyota to win the Manufacturers' Championship in the WEC for the 6th year in a row. Even though they started on pole position, winning this race wouldn't be an easy task, with some even speculating that Toyota would find it hard to at least get onto the podium considering everything that happened during this race. But the Japanese mark prevailed. Sebastian Buemi, Brendan Hartley, and Ryo Hirakawa would lift the winner's trophy for the 2nd time this season, and this win in Bahrain was thoroughly deserved. The number 8 Toyota GR010 would also take its 3rd consecutive victory here in Sakir, after taking wins in 2022, 2023, and now 2024. The win would also solidify Toyota's 9th overall victory in Bahrain, as they have won every single race here since 2017. Although Toyota would suffer some heartbreak with the number 7 car during this race, and they would lose out on the Drivers' Championship to their rivals at Porsche Penske Motorsport, the team would secure the final win of the season and the manufacturer's title in a truly tough and competitive season in the WEC this year, which gifted the Japanese car brand 3 overall victories in Italy, Brazil, and finally here in Bahrain. So that was a breakdown of how Toyota managed to win the 8 Hours of Bahrain and the 2024 manufacturer's title. What did you think of Toyota's win here in the WEC? And are you happy to see them achieve success? Well, make sure to let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. If you like sports car endurance racing, this might be the channel for you. I'm making content on the WEC, IMSA, and so on every single week. In fact, there are some videos out on your screen all about these topics. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.